Hey everybody, welcome back to Football Talk with Vinny. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Seattle Seahawks. So with the Seahawks, they did win their division. I think they had a pretty interesting offseason. So for some of the guys that they lost KJ Wright, Greg Olsen, also Mike Upati, one of the guards. And actually all of those players actually have just not signed with anybody, so they could be signed at any point. And then they did lose Shaquille Griffin to the Jacksonville Jaguars. In terms of some guys that they re-signed, it was Carlos Dunlap, who they made that midseason trade for. Also, they were able to extend Tyler Lockett. That's very big, I think, for the team. And then they re-signed a couple of offensive linemen. I might pronounce their names wrong. It's Ethan Pochik and Cedric Ojebuchi. I'm going to spell those names at the bottom. Probably pronounced them wrong. Now, in terms of actual free agency signings, they didn't sign too many guys. They got Gabe Jackson, the former Raider, Aldon Smith, former Cowboy, and Gerald Everett, the tight end for the Rams. So again, not too many signings from the Seattle Seahawks, but it makes sense when you look at the cap situation. They have $8.2 million to spend, so they didn't have much money to spend on anybody. But next year, if you look at their cap, they're gonna have $45 million. So next year, they will be able to spend some money, probably, hopefully, on that offensive line if you're Russell Wilson or any Seattle Seahawks fan, because you don't want Russell Wilson to request a trade. So, you would think you're going to have some money next year. And as long as they spend it on really whatever Russell Wilson probably tells them to spend it on, I think the team should be competitive. But as far as this year goes, they unfortunately were not able to do much. And in the draft, they probably did actually less. They only had 3 total picks. And only one of those picks were inside the top 100 at number 56. So let's get right into that. So with the 56th pick, they did take a wide receiver. They took Dwayne Eskridge. And then again, I'm just going to quickly go over the other 2 picks. They were outside the top 100. So at pick 137, they took a cornerback in Trey Brown. And at pick 208, they took an offensive tackle in Stone Forsythe. So not exactly what Russell Wilson was expecting when he said, get me some offensive line help. He wasn't expecting to take an offensive lineman with the 208th pick to finally give him some help at the offensive line. I think honestly, if you look at the roster for the Seattle Seahawks, if they did not have Russell Wilson, this would be a bad football team. Now, I don't necessarily think that if you took Russell Wilson off, they would be a 2 or 3 win ball club. They might still win 4 or 5 games, but they're definitely not a good roster. Right, you obviously have very good players at the wide receiver positions in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, right? But the rest of the offense is pretty below average. The offensive line we know is a weakness, and I think Chris Carson is okay. I don't think he's anything special. I think because you have Russell Wilson, it opens up more holes than if you had an average level quarterback in there. Because again, I think most defenses, when they go to play Seattle, you have to stop the pass and you have to stop Russell Wilson. If you can't stop Russell Wilson, you're not going to win. So I think stopping the running game is actually secondary for most defenses when they go to play Seattle. Now, although the defense did play much better towards the second half of last year, I still don't think they're a particularly good defense. They have a couple of good bright spots. Obviously, Jamal Adams and Bobby Wagner, those are 2 stars on their respective positions. But the rest of the defense as a whole is not particularly great. So real quickly, let me get into the projections for the regular season. It's really tough because, again, I really want to give them a lower level projection. But when you have an MVP candidate at the quarterback position, he covers and masks so many holes for a roster. And that's really all all-star quarterbacks. So although I want to go really low, I just can't just because of Russell Wilson. I just don't think that they're going to win a lot of games. Last year, they were able to get to 12 wins. I just don't see how they can get to 12 wins this year. So I'm going to say for the Seattle Seahawks, they're anywhere from an 8 to 10 win ball club. I think obviously that division, we've already talked about it on a couple of other videos. That division is the toughest division in all of the NFL. So again, I think if you just start there, how many games do you realistically think Seattle can win in their division? Maybe they split with the Rams. Maybe they split with the Niners and also the Cardinals. Maybe you split with the Cardinals. I guess it could go both ways, right? I can easily see all 3 of those teams beating Seattle twice. I could also, I guess, technically see Seattle getting 2 wins. So with Seattle, it's really weird because I can easily see the Rams and the Niners obviously are more talented as a roster. So I can see both those teams sweeping Seattle. but I can also see Russell Wilson just having very good games against both of those tough defenses, and the offenses for those teams probably can't match the production of a Russell Wilson. At the end of the day, I think they are a fringe playoff team. I think it might come down to how many divisional wins they have, because again, you might need to win a tiebreaker within your division to get one of the wild card spots. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like it, make sure to hit the like button, as it does help the channel out a lot. And thank you guys so much, and I look forward to the next video. Bye.